Everyone, we'll call to order the public hearing and regular city council meeting of Tuesday, April the 10th, 2018. At this time, I'd like to invite anyone that wishes to participate with council in our invocation, followed by a pledge of allegiance. We'll ask the freshman member of council to deliver our invocation.
Bow your heads, please. Dear God, thank you for bringing us here today, providing us all with traveling grace and mercy along the way, God. I pray that you can continue to keep us unified throughout the functions of today and let us make decisions on behalf of you, God, and keep you first. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. All right. Chair will entertain, or good evening, welcome everyone. The chair will entertain a motion to waive the reading and approve the minutes of March 13, 2018 regular city council meeting and the March 20, 2018 special city council meeting. Is there such a motion? Is there? Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by nay. The ayes have it. Item 4 on our agenda, moving right into recognition of new hires and promotions.
Oh, okay. Come on.
You started to say, Juan, this is not a warm welcome.
I'm probably going to say wrong. I've been practicing that in Carcion. I'm really trying to get better at that. Juan is our water park general manager. He's joining us from Wet and Wild Las Vegas. So quite the move from Las Vegas to Hart Vegas, as we keep telling him. So he's doing a great job working closely with Eric. Our team is building up. It's taking less off my plate, so I'm very excited. But do you want to say a few things?
I just want to say thank you. It's been a great transition. I love the support that I'm receiving, and we're very excited.
We're excited to have him on the team.
Is it true that they called your references and the HR department at Wet and Wild gave them the line that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas?
I
couldn't give you a reference.
They told me that.
Have we formally introduced Eric?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like you guys are like, you should be brothers, you know, like, yeah. You want to be introduced again? You good?
Have you seen their YouTube videos?
No, you've already
really
told me.
good.
That's
They're
good.
super cute.
Good job.
They are really good videos.
I will tell you, I have a 10-year-old at home that is not happy that mermaid tails are drowning hazards.
They won't be.
She's formed a mermaid club, and she wants to talk with both of you privately.
Our schedule is pretty booked this week.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So, and by the way, he's already bought a house. Is that public?
we're in the process.
Okay.
And it's
So-
in city limits, so he's
Yes.
been better
Yeah.
than me.
He'll be in Johnny's district.
Good.
So,
Well,
yeah, he's talking to Johnny. That's right.
yeah. So that's exciting. We're glad to have both of you.
It's a big move for both of them. We're glad.
Yeah, this team is going to be amazing.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank God.
Thank you.
Pronunciation of your last name again.
Yes.
It's Encarnacion.
I know it's not on the
So that would be incarnation.
With a translation, yes.
I mean, that's like Holy Mother of the Incarnation. So we're glad to have you. Welcome to the team.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And if you need anything or they don't pick up your trash, you just call Johnny. Sorry, Russ. Sorry, that was, yeah. All right. Any other new hires, promotions?
Matt has not working, so you're going to read everything. I can't see the screen.
Do you want?
Do you want? Yeah. That's it then. So then, proclamations, unless you got anything else, madam?
Not ready there.
This is the hardest word. So we have 2 proclamations this evening. One we do every year, and have since I've been here, I believe, for congenital diaphragmatic hernia day. Is that right? Every year I've struggled with this. So would y'all come up and we can issue your proclamation? So I think
You
it's,
said it right.
yeah, that's, when you have a child that has congenital stuff going on, I've got a list for my kid that I can't say half of, you know, so I know what that's like. So I'd love to read all of this, but really, I think the most important thing is for y'all to tell everybody here what your, why this issue is important, how it affects you personally, and kind of what the state means to you. And then I'll present your proclamation.
Well, basically, first off, I'm Andrew Andrew. This is my wife, Kristen Andrew. Our daughter, Kagan, was born October 28, 2014 at USC Hospital in Charleston. She was diagnosed with congenital diaphragmatic hernia, which is basically where the diaphragm muscle doesn't fuse at the bottom and allows the internal organs to come into the chest cavity. She was diagnosed at 24 weeks. And we weren't aware that she had 2 major heart conditions also whenever she was born. We found out afterwards. But she basically had a crushed left side lung, and they'd done the hernia repair, but she had to be placed on what's called a ECMO machine, which replaces your heart, your lung, your liver, and your kidneys, allows the body to rest. You go through surgeries, have major issues like that. They'd done a repair for that. She wasn't able to regain her strength to come off the machine because of the heart issues, and they couldn't do the repairs on those. She had a narrow aorta and also a hole in the right ventricle of the heart. It's not a very rare that you would think it would be. It's really every 1 in 1,500 is what we were given then. And we knew nothing about it. And, you know, they had tried to tell us everything we did, but we found some support through Facebook, and it's called sharubs.org. Is that what it is? Sharubs.org. They have unlimited information about all different families that's been through it, about what the disease is, and it's not a genetic disease, or it's not, you know, something that's just where the body doesn't grow faster than one part does, and it causes this. We had Kagan for 2.5 weeks. She passed away on November 15th. So very, very short, but she taught us a lot. And we try to do this every year for the city and the state, just to give some awareness and just to keep putting her name out there, because she's always going to be with us. And we just try to do everything we can for awareness for it, so that other families can, you know, we tell everybody, you know, you can, there's not really a test for it, but it's something to consider whenever you're going in an early pregnancy ultrasounds, to see if it can be detected as early as possible, because, you know, like I say, that it's one of those things that it's not a genetic, it's not something you can pass along, it's just something that just really just happens.
Now, have y'all found anybody else in the last several years from Hartsville that's going?
Not from Hartsville. I've actually found one she delivered in Charleston and another girl delivered in Charleston.
Yeah, that place is amazing, isn't it?
It is. It is.
We spent, 30 days per heart surgery down there. Those people are like uncles and aunts to us.
They are.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for always coming in.
Thank you.
And for creating this awareness. And we want to give you your proclamation naming April the 19th as Congenital Diaphragmatic Hernia Day.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
You too, sir.
Yeah. Dale, are you going to? Thank you all. Good to see you. Yeah. Oh, I got one more. So we have Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Is anyone here for that proclamation? No. Do you know who? Was this one that we're mailing back to them? Okay. So so this is declaring the whole month of April as Sexual Assault Awareness Month in the city of Hartsville. I'll read it to you. Whereas sexual assault affects adults and children in the PD region not only as victim survivors, but also family members, loved ones, friends, neighbors, and coworkers of a victim. And whereas sexual assault is one of the most devastating crimes in our society today, with victims often suffering lifelong pain from physical injury and serious emotional trauma. And whereas the volunteers and service providers in our communities are dedicated to providing care to sexual assault survivors through 24-hour hotlines, counseling, support groups, advocacy, medical care, and education. And whereas the 2018 observance of Sexual Assault Awareness Month encourages people to learn more about sexual violence and its prevention and how to help survivors heal from this personal violation. So that's April 2018. I'll get that. Okay, that's everything. Sam? I don't have one. I would think that was just sent back. Fair. Where's the, do we have Fair Housing Month? Did I skip one?
No.
Sorry. Thank you. So the last proclamation is, that's the one that we're sending back, is proclaiming the month of April also as Fair Housing Month, and celebrates the 50 years of the Fair Housing Act. Every year, the Housing Urban Development proclaims the month of April as Fair Housing Month to commemorate the anniversary of the passage of the Fair Housing Act in 1968. And whereas the state of South Carolina enacted the South Carolina Fair Housing Law in 1989, which guarantees the right of every person to live wherever they choose, regardless of their race, color, national origin, sex, religion, familial status, or disability. And whereas the state of South Carolina must certify each year that it will affirmatively further fair housing and local governance as a condition of receiving our community development block grants, which do a lot of good in the community here. It must certify to the state and to HUD that they will take proactive steps to affirmatively further fair housing. And whereas the city of Hartsville desires that all its citizens be afforded the opportunity to attain a decent, safe, and sound living environment. So, we'll send that in. Okay. The next item on the agenda is the manager's update. Madam Manager.
Sure, here we have some congratulations in order for our freshman member of council. I heard you were engaged this weekend. So.
Yeah.
Wait, why would you shouldn't, please do the honors. Would you please tell us your news?
I just got engaged this weekend. My girlfriend, Carmen Taylor, we went to college together at Miami University in Oxford, Ohio. That's what reminded me so much of Hartsville. So I just went back home.
Rage games?
Yes, yep. Well, the Red Hawks now. It changed in about 93, but yeah, we still got the Redskins too. We went to Savannah for her birthday. April 8th, and I proposed on that day too. So she's moving in soon, if y'all know the HR positions available. She's the HR manager working on the SHRM certification now, so hopefully get my baby close.
From Miami, Hudson, Ohio,
Yeah.
they have a chapel there that everyone that graduates wants to get married in.
There's an arch, Upham Arch. If you have a kiss under the Upham Arch, then your marriage will come true.
Did you want to tell us if you had a kiss on All right. Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We also have newlyweds in the audience, our airport director, Hemming, and our planning commission member, Sandy, were married this weekend. Lots of love in the air.
The question I think we want to know is, we know you've gone somewhere on a honeymoon because you both have planes. The real question is, who got to fly? Did you?
We got two planes.
Two planes? Well, congratulations to both of them.
All right, I think we could overlook all the exciting news.
That's,
Do you have news this time?
no, that's came up.
That's not a joke. I'm like, oh, big Dave, I know what's coming. Yeah.
In the housing meeting last night, that's when I learned that you all had gotten married, and then they said, you know, we got to think about housing, not with the driveway, but with the hangar.
Mhm.
I said, so who we gonna have, Sandy? They said, yes, Sandy and her husband. I said, we're gonna have Sandy and Mr. Sandy. So we're gonna have two hangars, and one plane going left and one going right.
I mean, you could do a lot worse than to be known as Mr. Sandy. Just
That's a good thing around town.
all right, anybody else?
Just real quick, you have in front of you ethics training. I know I told you I attended this, and it was fantastic. So we're bringing it to Hartsville, and we're inviting anyone in the state, actually, but specifically the PD to join us at Long Park. So I hope that you can all attend because we're hosting the training. That's all I have.
Okay. All right, items on the consent agenda will be received as information without objection. They stand approved. Moving into unfinished business, item 6 on our agenda is public hearing and final reading of ordinance 4327. If the manager will call.
To amend Hartsville Code Ordinances, Appendix A, zoning article 6, general provision, section 7, off-street parking and loading by adding H, bicycle parking, I, surface and markings, and J, accessible parking for disabled persons.
Okay, you've heard the reading by title and presentation of the city manager. At this time, the chair will move to open the public hearing. If you would like to be heard on ordinance 4327, if you rise, state your name and address for the record, come to the front, and please limit your comments to 2 minutes or less. And hearing that there are none, the chair will move to close the public hearing and entertain any motions to adopt.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion to pass ordinance 4327.
Second.
Is there any discussion on the ordinance? And hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by nay. The ordinance carries. Item 7 on the agenda is public hearing and final reading of ordinance 4328. The manager will publish.
To amend Hartsville City Code chapter, historic preservation, section 11-21, design review guidelines for cities' historic districts, subsection A, cities' historic district 1, historic properties by the addition of 106 East Carolina Avenue, 154 Mantissa Road, tax map number 056-0602-059, and 108 East Carolina Avenue and 152 Mantissa Road, tax map 056-0602-036 and 056-0602-60. A portion of the former Southern Candy Kitchen and subsection B general criteria.
Okay, you've heard the reading by title and presentation of the city manager. This time the chair will move to open the public hearing. If you'd like to be heard on ordinance 4328, if you rise, state your name and address for the record, come to the front. Please limit your comments to 2 minutes or less. And seeing that there are none, the chair will move to close the public hearing and entertain any motions to adopt.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion that we pass ordinance 4328.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by nay. The ordinance passes. Item 8 on the agenda, public hearing and final reading of ordinance 4329. The manager will publish.
An ordinance of the City of Hartsville, South Carolina, amending provisions of the code of ordinances of the city requiring annexation commitments in order for properties located outside of the city to connect to the city's utility services and other matters related thereto.
Okay, you've heard the reading by title and presentation of the city manager. At this time, the chair will move to open the public hearing on ordinance 4329. If you'd like to be heard on ordinance 4329, if you rise, state your name and address for the record, come to the front, and limit your comments to 2 minutes or less. And hearing that there are none, the chair will move to close the public hearing and entertain any motions to adopt.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion to pass ordinance 4329.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by nay. The ordinance passes. Moving into new business, item 9 on the agenda is resolution 4-18-01, a resolution approving a property maintenance agreement by and between the city of Hartsville, South Carolina, the Hartsville Public Development Corporation, and other matters related thereto. Madam Clerk, if you will let the record reflect that I will need to recuse myself being a member of the Public Development Corporation, and will pass that duty to the mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Is there a motion on resolution 04-1801?
Make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I was looking in the contract that the upkeep is gonna be done by, our grounds crew. And I saw where it had some demolition. Are they gonna be doing demolition as well, ma'am? Well, I'm sorry, Mayor Pro Tem.
I'll relate to the city manager there.
So we are starting with some in-house demolitions. I think you guys are doing 3 at this time, but not in this area, just to test it out. So we are required when we do city demolitions to have an asbestos survey. So we may, if we're good at it, on these first 3 that we're testing out, they may do some of the demolitions to help save money in the canal district. Yes, ma'am.
So are they, where are the 3, are they 3 that are being done in the historic Butler district right now?
They are, I think I sent out the addresses. Do you have them on you?
Yeah, I got them.
They are in
I
the
just
historic.
wanted to make sure that
They are.
it's tied to together.
Those 3 are, yes.
Okay.
Hopefully they'll be fantastic at it and we can keep going.
Thank you. Madam Manager, Ms. Mack, anyone else? Any more discussion?
And you said that would be cheaper than having to bid it out.
Right, so we had to pay for the asbestos surveys to be done. I mean, it was average around 500. No asbestos was found on those 3 properties, so we are gonna proceed in-house with staff that we already have.
And do you have any type of figure difference?
So we're currently paying around $4,000 to $5,000 per house, depending on what it's, the materials involved. And we're just gonna, it's not gonna be overtime or anything like that. It's just using our existing staff to go and take care of it while they're on the clock, as they normally do.
I guess we really won't know until you know the number of hours.
Just the outline.
Yeah, I'm just interested to know if we can do some of the further demolitions that need to be done.
I hope so. That's the goal.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mack. Any other discussion?
We are doing 2 demolitions in the Canal District. That is being done with money that has been loaned to the Hartsville Public Development Corporation actually this week. So 2 will come down in there by a third-party contractor. Shopping house.
All right. All those in favor of passing ordinance 04-1801, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed by nay. Resolution passes. Mr. Chair. Thank you, sir. I apologize. I just completely walked over introducing Mr. Philip Gilliard, who is here as a liaison for Congressman Tom Rice, and is the Veterans and Community Outreach Coordinator. Is that right? Welcome. Did you wish to mention anything, or?
No, just wanted to be a part, and thank you for allowing me.
How long have you been serving with him?
18 months now, year and a half.
Well,
So I do a mobile office here every 2 months, and I come in and meet with Natalie, and we're here every 2 months at a minimum to meet with any constituents that may have some issues that pertain to anything that we might be able to take care of, SSI, Veterans Affairs, passports, things like that.
Wonderful. Well, if you ever need to use this room for any of those meetings, by all means, please do. You already do?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
the room. This is the room I use.
Do you have a card with you?
Here it is.
Yes, I do. And I'll give some.
Well, if you would give our regards to the congressman.
I will.
You mentioned SSI, what about Social Security disability?
Yes, we assist with that also.
And when we be back?
I have to check my calendar, but I'll be back in June.
June.
Yes, if not before. But I'll give Natalie a call, and we already got it scheduled. I'll tell you what we tell you when exactly.
All right.
Okay. And I'll get back with you. Okay? Bye.
Thank you and welcome. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
He has family in the area too, which is a neat connection, right? That
Yes,
you've
I
been
do.
able to reconnect with
Yes.
while you're here.
Well, come
In the
along.
Myrtle Beach area?
I'm sorry.
In the Myrtle Beach area,
No, I have family here.
here in Hartsville?
Yes, I do. Yeah, Sylvester Wilson is my cousin. His wife, Lucretia, is my cousin, and we're originally from the Charleston area.
Oh, Mr. Sylvester out in Cemetery.
Yes. Uh-huh. Yes. All
Tell
right.
Ms. Mack, tell him.
I will. I'll give him a call before I leave.
I may need to call you before May though.
Okay, that'll be fine. I'm available, man.
Thank you.
Thank you and
Thank you,
welcome.
Mr. Man.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
We are on resolution, item 10 on the agenda is resolution 4-18-02, a resolution for approval of the airport engineering and planning services for the Hartsville Regional Airport. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? The chairman of the airport committee wish to report anything?
Application,
Everything's good?
references.
Where are we, is it already like in the budget for the airport renovation?
They get paid according to the size of the project.
Okay.
So the grant funds would cover the cost for them, so we're not just, giving them money.
Right.
But when we receive the grant, we do have matching funds set aside in our city budget for the airport, but they would be paid out of the grant that we receive.
Do we know, I see that I have the thing, the offers here, the proposals from people. Do we have an idea of what specific updates that we would want to
They definitely have a plan. Hemming, do you want
You're
to?
talking about capital improvement?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, we just went down to meet with the FAA in Charleston in February. And, the FAA and the South Carolina Aeronautics, Commission, is that right, have been very helpful in helping us get, our airport situated. And, Hemming, has been working very hard on prioritizing. They give you safety things that you need to do first with their money before you can do anything else. So they've been working very hard for a 5-year plan to remedy all the capital improvements that we need and improve the airport, given the limited amount of matching funds that they receive. And I think that we seem to be doing pretty well with this plan and with the progress that has been made. Have you been out there before?
Yeah, I've been there.
Have you been lately?
I went to the last airplane day when the kids were.
Good, good. Yeah, so there's some noticeable changes coming and have already been completed.
Yeah, and even since the last Young Eagles Day, the fence project is now completed.
Yeah.
There continue to be some additional things, and the FAA very clearly expressed that we need to have, and as did the South Carolina Aeronautics Commission, that if the city doesn't have an engineering company that they consult with, that they really they don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, they've been kind of filling in the gap, the Aeronautics Commission, and we've kind of run out of free help.
Right.
And they're ready for us to transition.
And it's a way to bring federal money into the community to do work at the airport, but that brings work and which brings economic.
Right.
stuff.
And what kind of vision do we have for the Hartsville airport? Like commercial or freight type of, for the improvements, the capital improvement, or private? And then we have a couple of different uses the way that we use it now.
Some of it, believe it or not, is educational without giving away the. There's a freshman member of council, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the flight school.
How it works is like FAA required the airport to have a minimum of a 5-year capital improvement plan that we put together and send into the FAA and got approved. The airport gets $150,000 a year from FAA called an entitlement grant. That you can save up and use for improvement, and it starts with safety and then it goes out and to building and things like that. But we done the runway and the fencing around the airport right now, and now we're going into the next phase to see if we can build a new terminal building and a new parking ramp for the airplane and a new access road. To get access to those grants, we need to have an engineering company because the FAA required. There is a certain set of rules that we have to follow, and we need an engineering company to help us to put this together and get those grants from the FAA to develop the airport.
Okay, so this ordinance will give us the consultant, basically like the Hartsville Development Company, to operate on our behalf and make decisions for the airport.
We'll be engaging them professionally to do the actual work.
Yeah, and also every plans at the airport will have to be approved by the city and also the city council. So yeah.
Okay, anything further? All right, hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by nay, resolution carries. Item 11 on your agenda is resolution 4-18-03, approval of the Hartsville Police Department to enter into an agreement with the Florence County Emergency Management Division.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion that we pass resolution 4-1803.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the resolution?
To what end, Mayor,
What is the agreement? I'd have to defer to the major on this one. Major, would you care to elaborate about the?
Basically what this is, it's a mutual aid agreement that we've got with other city municipalities and sheriff's offices. What this gives us and gives them is if we have an emergency type situation, we'll be able to communicate back and forth. They would have a channel that we can talk on as well as they can talk on our channel. They've got, what they operate on now are scrambled, digitally scrambled channels. We can't pick up. And so we will have a channel that they'll be able to talk on. We're giving them the rights to a channel and vice versa. So in an emergency type situation, we'll be able to communicate as well as giving legal authority back and forth so that in a type situation, God forbid, whatever, natural disaster or whatever, we'd be able to help them, they'd be able to help us.
Okay.
So we're just covering a base and hope we never have to use it, but we've got it covered.
Okay, anything further? Then hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by nay? The ayes have it. Item 12 on new business is first reading of ordinance 4330, if the manager will publish.
Release a portion of property at 410 Bell Avenue from Thomas Ekus Sr. and Thomas Ekus Jr. for installation and maintenance of monitoring equipment.
Okay, you've heard the reading by title and presentation of city manager of ordinance 4330. This time, the chair will entertain a motion to adopt first reading.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion that we adopt ordinance 4330.
Is there a second? Second. Any discussion?
Yes.
Madam?
Do I need to refer to the major on that?
You mean as to what this is?
No.
Oh.
How soon we would have it?
So a lot of them are already up. I don't know if you've seen in the neighborhood, a lot of the monitoring equipment is up. As soon as we go through second reading and the public hearing, this is the ordinance, we'll be able to move forward quickly. So what happened was there's not enough right of way on the street, so we needed to enter into an agreement with a private property owner to put the equipment on their property. This is just with the camera system.
Okay. Anything further? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by nay. Madam? Certainly. Item 13 on the agenda is first reading of ordinance 4331. If the manager will publish.
Release the property at 149 West Carolina Avenue to Darlington County Humane Society.
Okay, you've heard the reading by title and presentation of ordinance 4331. This time, the chair will entertain a motion to adopt.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion we adopt ordinance 4331.
Second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by nay. Motion carries. Item 14 on the agenda is a motion to enter executive session pursuant to the South Carolina Code Freedom of Information Act, Section 30-4-70, Paragraph A, Subparagraph 1, for discussion of appointment to the Darlington County Capital Project Sales Tax Commission. Is there such a motion? So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by nay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. We stand in executive session.